Yeah, like here's his actual little cash box. I don't know if he's using the adding machine or not. Let's get that open. Should we pop it open? Yeah, so there are hornets' nests back here. I gotta be careful. Oh, it's right in front of me. So I'm gonna open up this bag. I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. I try not to disturb all the poo in the box. Hello and welcome back. So today I'm going to be revisiting an abandoned antique store, which also includes a 140-year-old barn on the same property. Now this time I have more time, an empty trailer, and I've got a plan. That plan is to buy as much as I can at wholesale prices and flip most of it at a flea market nearby where I have a booth for the season. So I spoke with the owner and he's moving a lot quicker than I anticipated. He said he's already taken a bunch of stuff out of the barn. He hasn't touched the antique store yet, but I've got to get over there quickly because if I wait much longer, everything's going to be burned or scrapped. So here's hoping round 2 is just as good, if not better, than round 1. Let's go. Okay, so let's see how the barn looks now. I will be showing you some before and afters as we go here for reference because it's going to look a lot different than the last time I was here, which was only 4 weeks ago. I don't need a fishing net. But any license plates you get, even if they are newer, you know, if I can sell them at the flea market for $5 to $10 each, that's great. There's a Walt Disney World one. It's got some damage up there, but like I said, I'm just going to wholesale a bunch of stuff at the flea market that I pull out of here and move it quickly. Now, there's this Shell grease can here. I pulled this out last time. There's a couple more back there, but they don't really have much for advertising on them as far as the logo goes. I may grab them today, again, maybe blow them out at $10 or $15. Someone else can clean all the gross grease out of them. So there's a couple things right off the bat. So there's another license plate down here, 1973. That's a $10 license plate usually. Okay, so there's really not much here at all, literally scrap metal. You know, there's a part of an old winch there. There's this cool old photo here. It says family reunion, but it's completely waterlogged. That's too bad. Not much else going down here. But on the shelf here beside me, we might be able to find a couple things we can salvage. Again, the wood pile's right beside me here. Just a pink can. I will take a look at some of the canning jars. I don't want the generic crown jars though. So there are a couple more of these shell cans. That one's got a dent and it's pretty beat up on top. So I'm gonna leave that one. Looks like there's one more. This one. That one looks pretty good. Oh, it's got a big dent in the backside too. I mean, that will push out. So I'll put it in my pile. Again, this stuff's just all gonna get thrown right out if I don't take it. So, you know, there's a couple things on the wall here, but they're just rusted out. Nothing really to write home about. I can't reach anything else right now on the shelf. Okay, over to the workbench area. We do have some stuff in the rafters here. Now, what I'm seeing, it's kind of like some just everyday mason tools and trowels and things. I can't sell those. More of the same over here. Oh, the back side of the door here. So there's a bell. There's a nice brass bell there with a spring attached to it. So this is all his stuff. If I need any tools today that I don't already have with me, this is handy. Got some automotive mirrors. There's anything better here. I'll put it aside. This is kind of different. I'm not sure what that would have come off of. I'll grab that one. So the shelf. Okay, so here's an old funnel. This one's metal. So someone might get a kick out of that. Even for upcycling purposes. Doodads. Empty. one's too far gone to try and sell. License light. So it's an old light for your license plate. So that's kind of cool. That actually may have a bit of value with the box there. I didn't even know they made these back then. Okay, so you can see the chrome on it looks pretty good. And there's a light section there. So that's kind of cool find. Missed that last time. There's a folding ruler. You know, again, you price them really cheap. You can get $5 or $10 out of those. You know, there's this little tin piece. Oh, that's nailed on there. I'm not sure what that would have been used for originally. And a horn off something here. Can that be salvage? Maybe. I'm not going to bother with it. That's just a little on the risky side. So wow, yeah, he's really done a lot of work here in a short amount of time. This is a big space. There's another workbench here. Again, not something I can really sell. We got a vise on here. Not going to bother with that. But here's a small anvil, though. It is mounted. Now, I might be able to get that off here today, hopefully. Even if I take a board off with me. It's not worth much. It's pretty small. But again, it's going to end up being scrapped if I don't take it. And then we've got an old drill press here. Same thing, really hard to get rid of these, and the plate there looks a little rough, but I'll let him scrap that one there. So you see he's building scrap piles as he goes here, throwing them in the buckets and hauling them out. You know, out of curiosity, let's take a quick look at the top of this one. Because this whole thing here, the mixed metal, I mean, you know, he might get $10 for everything in there. So, you know, we've got an old pipe wrench right on top here. I mean, at this point, if I can just rescue some of this stuff to make a few dollars on, then why not? Am I going to empty this all out? We'll see how it goes here today. So I saw this last time I was here. This is, it's cracked, but it's an old thermometer. I think this was dairy here before. That might be worth salvaging though. I mean, 10 years ago, anything industrial like this would sell quickly for a lot of money, but I will save it. I remember seeing this last time. What does it say? Something painter? Scrap painter? I don't know what that means. But it's galvanized. Pretty cool piece. You could put like sunflowers in there. Good garden piece for sure though. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, so that's part of a cedar there. Got a Ford hubcap. I'll grab that one there. This I wanted last time, but it was upside down. It had a motor mounted to it there, but he took that off for scrap, obviously. So, yeah, I can just blast this with the hose. And again, you know, if I want to blow this out and put $10 on it, it should go same day. Okay, so we've got a few more of these big kettles. Now, they're pretty heavy. They are cast, which is good because it's pretty hard for them to rust right through. So, I mean, you could power wash this or sandblast it, give it a fresh coat of paint. I could drag these out of here today. I'm not going to pay a lot for these. The couple of the best ones are gone. So, let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's not something I really want to lift, but I can drag it out. So, all right, we've got one here. We've got another one a little bit bigger beside it. I'm going to check these for holes and any really bad corrosion. And then we've got a smaller one inside here with the handle, which is probably one of the easier ones to sell. So that's 3. And then we've got a 4th one here. Also equally as big. It looks pretty good too, so that's not bad. There's lots of these. We'll see more of them, I'm sure. I may have to use some just to cart stuff out of here because I forgot to bring bins with me, except like one or two. But if I can find some clean enough ones and get them for literally $1 each, which is I know he'll be fine with, then maybe I'll grab a stack. Okay, so I'm going to collect up a few things here. But this caught my eye here as I was wandering around one more time. I think I know what this is. It's sharp at the bottom, and I can kind of see through the top there. Anyway, so I'm going to open up this bag. I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I think it's an old outboard motor, like a really small one, but we'll find out here in one sec. Okay, so I was right. It's a little small Johnson Seahorse outboard motor here. So that's a 2 horsepower. So this is good for a trolling motor. This is good for a canoe. I've got a 10-foot inflatable boat that I use sometimes. This would be great on the back of that if you want to boot around a little bit faster. It looks pretty well preserved, though. I mean, it was in this sack. I don't know how long it was in there for, but this all looks pretty clean, so definitely worth grabbing. It's not super old. This one here is probably late 60s, early 70s. The casing is metal on it, so that helps. But that's a nice little clean one there, and super happy to find that because, I mean, this place was so packed that this could have been shoved right to the back behind a bunch of just dirty nails, and that's why I missed it. So despite the fact that he emptied out about 90% of the main floor of the barn, I still got some key pieces and did rescue some pieces from the scrap and burn pile. All right, let's go check out the loft upstairs. Okay, so heading up to the loft here. This section here looks like it's relatively untouched since I was here. I did not get up there. I will today though with the ladder. I want to see what's up there besides lumber. So I don't think he's done too much up here yet. He said the barn was more or less 90% emptied, but I think he was basically just referring to the main floor. So I'm gonna see what I can salvage out of here still. I'm sure there's some pieces I left behind last time that are worth grabbing today. Okay, so in here we've got a lot of lumber. We've got some signs here from the fruit stand. If I could find some smaller ones, like they're only 30, 40, about 40 years old. I will grab maybe a few smaller ones here and there I can sell cheap because they'll get burned otherwise. Now, I'm all alone today, so I've got to be careful because there's nobody here to help me except maybe the tenant at the house if they're around. So let's get digging and see what we can find. Alright, so yeah, this little for rent sign. Yeah, a few small ones I'll throw aside here. I mean, it's not like I can't change my mind when I'm done. There's a big one there for potatoes. That's too big. Say beans, yellow, green. Fresh green onions. Hot buttered sweet corn. That one's kind of cool. I missed that last time. And then here's a big giant fruit stand antique sign. So he was operating both here at one point, up to, well, 30 years ago anyway. I can't really use that, but this one's kind of cool though. I'll grab this one. Okay, so I am going to have to watch the floor here. It hasn't really been back here either, but it is a little loose. There's a lot of weight on it, so I'll just have to be a little bit extra careful about my footing. We've got these ones. It's a bigger veggies. I've never seen veggies spelled that way before. Leave that one. This larger one doesn't say anything. So no. here. Swim tubes. Hello. Mushrooms. That one's kind of cool. I think someone like that one there. Nice color paint on it too. So some bigger ones here I'm gonna have to get to. I just want to see what's back here. I haven't been this far back. I do have to watch the floor. I don't want, something like this falling on me or myself going through the floor. There's another crate back here though. Is that loose? Well, it was. Maybe I'll reach in. This is like raccoon poo. So this is where I'm going to have to put some gloves on. Okay. So it's hard to read it. Geo, which would be George. Something. Ruthven, Ontario. I've never heard of. So it's some sort of fruit crate. It looks okay though. If I put $10 in that should go right away. I was trying to see what's behind the chair over here before I finish this corner. Okay, so that's an old metal shelf. Some sort of barrel. That could be an old washer under there, maybe. Let's see if I can move the chair safely anyway. It's wedged on it. There's not a lot of room to move any of this stuff right now. Okay. Got the chair off, so... Oh, look at that. It's all full of stuffing there from rodents and reeks like urine. So I'm going to leave that one behind. That's just gross. Okay, so I looked through the rest of the signs there. Nothing really worth grabbing. So I did manage to rescue a few things out of that corner anyway. We've got a few of the wooden signs and a fruit crate somewhere behind me there. So that's not a bad start. Again, everything in here, this would all just go in the burn pile. Okay, let's check out this side here now. Yeah, that one's not too great. Now, I did kind of sneak back here before. It's just like there's these big bins here for produce, and then there's a big piece stacked on top. So I really don't want to get underneath that if I don't have to. I mean, odds are it's not going to fall if I don't touch it, but I'm not wearing a helmet, and there's no witnesses, so we'll be a little bit extra careful today. So I looked at these last time, hoping there were signs, but they weren't. Just as sheet metal. Alright, so there's that piece right there in front of me there. So I don't want to disturb anything back here. And from what I could tell, there's nothing else back here except these big bins. Plywood. Yeah. But I can't go under this right now. Like, that would take me out really quickly. Okay, so there's still quite a bit lying around here. Now, these plows here, they're too big for me. I can't bother with these. Maybe he'll find somebody last minute, maybe not. This is kind of different. Oh, I know what this is. Oh. I should know. But it's not too big. Most of the handle's gone, but I think I may salvage this. I'll pop this up on the screen what this is actually called here for you. So let's take a peek through this little section here. I really went through it quickly. I did get probably the best piece in here last time I was here. I'll point it out when we get back there, but we'll turn the light on and see if we can find anything here that I missed. Okay. So I did look down here. These are just old books. I'm going to look quickly at some of the canning jars. Odds are I'm not going to find anything of real value. Almost everything I've seen so far is Crown and generic stuff. And this side here, I didn't really find much of anything. There's just some basic horse tack here. A few more canning jars I'll look at quickly. Okay, there's an old suitcase. Should we pop it open? Nothing jumped out at me, but I'd be curious to know what's in that little pouch there. Huh, nothing. Okay, this side here. Crown, generic stuff. There's a license plate wedge down there. There's a couple in the corner here reinforcing it. Yeah, not seeing a whole lot up here so far. I mean, I was up here before, but I am looking a lot closer now. But it just takes one piece, though. So this spot right down there last time is where I pulled out a really cool double-sided porcelain sign. It was Canada Express Company or Canadian Express Company. It was like a nice cobalt blue and white. That was wedged right in this section here to support the floor, and he let me rip that out. It took me about 10 minutes to wedge it out, but cleaned up pretty well. He gave it to me. He didn't want anything for it, and I sold it for $250 the same day I posted it. So that was definitely the best piece I grabbed from the last time I was here that I can remember anyway. But this whole section here, there's just really not much of value. So we're going to move on to the main part of the loft here. So there's a little bit here to dig through, not a ton, but I want to talk about this big piece right here in front of me, which is like a big hay collector here. It's got to be about 15 feet long and at least 8 feet wide, pretty early. What I like about it is it's a Massey Harris piece here. It's got this big long panel on the side. It's got another on the other side as well that's painted Massey Harris. Now, I've asked him about this a few times. He can't find anybody to take it. So he said he'd be happy just to sell the wheels off it. He's got a couple guys that may want them. And the wood panels, which I asked about the first time if he decided to just salvage it. So I did ask him again today about it, and he said they're fair game. He said he was going to saw them off, but if I can get that off somehow today without sawing it, I will. And that'd be pretty cool. And here's the other side of this hay collector. So this spot here was fun last time. This is where I found, well, actually this was the best thing I found in here was I pulled out two old early 70s Schwinn Stingray banana seat bikes. One was pretty much complete, the other one for parts. Just covered in hay, filthy dirty, but buried in here. I sold them for $275 in a couple hours. All right, we've got a top off of some sort of maybe washer here. See, there's a lot of crap buried. Like we've got a press here for something. Okay, so over here, I mean, there could be some more stuff buried in the ground. I don't know. Oh, this is a really suspicious looking hole for somebody living in there. There's not much over here. There's another one of these. Some windows I've looked through before. Nothing I can really use. This bed frame here is just a hollow. So the only part I still need to check out is up above here. So let's go grab a ladder and see what's up there. And, well, I don't need to climb up here to see that there's nothing more here than lumber, firewood, and one long ladder that I really can't use right now. It'll barely fit my trailer, but that's a little disappointing. But you have to check it out anyway, right? Okay, so as far as exploring goes, we've more or less finished the barn now. A couple things I'm going to try and salvage here today. Okay, so the loft is still pretty full, and I did unearth a couple of nice pieces. Now, I'm only going to have time to get one of the panels off the hay loader, and that's okay. Let's go check out the old antique store. Okay, it's time to move on to the antique store section here. Now, I can show you the building now because by the time this is uploaded, this will be completely empty. I just worry about people breaking in and looting the place. But it's been closed for about 30 years since the father passed. And they haven't tried to sell anything out of here. There were some break-ins over the years. But I was able to find some stuff last time, and I only moved quickly, so I'm sure I'll find some more today. So we've got two sections here. And this is like the main storefront we're gonna go into here. And this was more of like a catch-all area where you had some stuff stored. Okay, so none of this is exactly safe, but it's not falling down or anything. It's just really dirty and you gotta be careful. There's broken glass and rusty metal everywhere. So we're in. So same idea as the barn. Anything I can salvage in here that I think will sell relatively quickly or very quickly at the flea market, more or less, I'm gonna grab. So we're gonna start looking here. It's already after 1 o'clock. I've been here for 3 hours already. But right in front of me here, we've got this big copper boiler here. Now, it's got some wear and a lot of big dents on it. One side in particular has quite a few. But this would be a good garden piece for sure. Let's see, it weighs about, I don't know, 20, 25 pounds. So that's gonna come out with me today. So we've got parts of old lanterns. I'm not gonna bother with that sort of thing unless they're complete. But here's a license plate I missed. This is, okay, 1935. That's clean enough. I'm gonna blow this stuff out at the flea market, $5 or $10. So we do have an old stove here. This is too heavy for me to bother with today. Too heavy to take to the flea market. I'm just gonna let him scrap that. He's not having anybody else in here at this point to sell anything. He's really got to move quick so he can get back home. There's a nice old 4-gallon jug here. If that's not cracked, I'm gonna pull that out. That's pretty cool. It's got a little, nope, that's a price tag. So that looks pretty good. They're a slow seller right now, but again, if I'm gonna get it cheap, I'm gonna sell it cheap. So here's an old scale. So it's still moving. So someone could save that. They could just clean it up and paint it to a nice glossy black or something. So we've got more of the wood hand planes here. I'm gonna grab some, not all. I'm literally gonna price these at $5 and $10. I want this stuff to sell tomorrow. See, he was asking $40 back then for these. There's a little small one there. So there's a few here. There's a few metal ones. There might be a couple that are a little bit better than others. I'll look them up quickly, but so we got a nice little stack of those growing here. And down below here, we've got an old hay trolley. So I looked at this last time, but I didn't really touch it. It's actually still got moving parts, and this is probably going to be worth grabbing. They used to sell like crazy, but even now I can still get $25, $30 for it. So this could be like a blacksmithing type tool. That's all cast. I'll put that aside. And this is a little bit different here. I mean, the blade's completely dull and it's pretty rusty, but it's small. A couple more unique saws here. Now, I don't know exactly what these are used for, but they're still pretty good. I'll put that aside. Now up here, we do have a pretty big hay rake. Now again, they're not big sellers, but this one, it's got a couple broken spokes there. I'm gonna leave that. Now this is a pretty cool piece right here. This is a giant set of bellows. This is about 4.5 feet long. You can see the old leather in there still. It's all wood. It does show obvious signs of wear. Now, that's pretty big and beefy and heavy, but I don't want to leave this behind. I know he wants to get something out of this. I'm probably not going to pay more than $100 for these max. They're really cool, but very specific buyer. And if he wants to clear this all out next week, he may end up just putting those in the burn pile. So I'm going to try and rescue those today. Nice little ice box here. I mean, if I had the time and the space, they're kind of fun pieces to deal with, just for people using as coolers or little storage chests. Here's some tongs. These may be for big, small blocks of ice. I'll put them aside. See, there were wasps in here. I don't know if there still are. Oh, yeah, there are. Or hornets, whatever they are. See that nest there? So I don't want to disturb too much. I don't want to be swarmed. I'm hearing the wind whistle, and now I'm thinking it's swarms of hornets and stuff coming at me. All right, moving on. $75 on what looks like a cowbell with another nest in it. I'll put that aside. I mean, that's a really unrealistic price today. Like, yeah, $10-15. It's not great. Now, I dismissed these last time, these old fire extinguishers, just because they are pretty worn. They are common, but again, knowing these are going to go to scrap, I'm going to put these in my pile today and pay a couple bucks each for them. Price them at 10, and hopefully somebody will take them and clean them up. So there's little bits and pieces here. You know, I'm being kind of picky. There's a little egg scale. So that's still got moving parts. Put that aside. This is kind of a cool piece here, though. This like section dish had $9 on it, but it's got a chip on it. Pretty cool mid-century looking piece there. I'll leave that. This looks like some sort of paperweight, not a bookend. It's cast. I'll put it in the pile. It's kind of different set of tongs though. The claws on them there. Yeah, we'll grab those. And then we've got some records. I mean, these are obviously going to be trashed just from all the humidity, and it sounds like it's full of really good stuff. Here's a nice ash pail. That's pretty good. Just needs to be cleaned. I'll grab that. There's a bunch of brass rings. I'm not sure what they're for. Maybe tack related. They're kind of different looking though. He had $15 on them. Yeah, why not? We got the big fork and spoon here. I mean, I guess you could clean them up. Is someone going to buy them? I mean, they do have a cheeky theme on them. Oh yeah, the more I look at these. Handmade and beautiful Philippines. Whatever. If I can't sell them, I can donate them. So I think that's it for this room. I'll dig a little bit more once I start pulling some stuff out and let you know if I find anything else worth mentioning. But we got quite a bit here. We got a nice little stack along the window here. We got some bigger pieces to deal with along the back. We got a pile over there. So that's a good start for the first room. We've still got the other room back here. Okay, so the back room here, it's a little dark. I got the flashlight on to help out a little bit here. Kind of an interesting room back here. This is where he obviously sold a lot of his books. I probably won't be interested in any of them. I'll look really quickly, see if anything jumps out. But sitting here for 30 plus years, they were already cheap books to begin with. So we'll see how it goes. But here's a nice little lobster trap on the wall. I did see this last time. I actually forgot to come back for it. So I'm glad this is still here. So I'm going to pull that off. Now, right in front of me, though, we've got a big collection of old sewing machines. So the treadle style. You can see there's a Singer down there. Now, as one piece, they really don't have much for value, but people do still upcycle the bases and use them for bases for tables. Not like they used to, that's for sure. They don't sell for much. So what I'll do is I'll come back for these in the next day or two and just load them all in, then I'll dissect them myself. And salvage the drawers, anything else I can, the machines inside, if I can find a buyer. Let's see if I can get one of these open. So I can find a buyer for the actual machines. If I can sell them at complete, the way they are, I will. But at the very least, I've got some nice cast iron bases and maybe some machines. There's a copper kind of boiler there, but the handles are gone, so that's just good for scrap. I hear more buzzing. Yeah, so there are hornets' nests back here. I gotta be careful. Oh, it's right in front of me. Oh, here's an old upright a drying rack. I didn't notice this before. That's kind of different. It's got a name on it. Folding ringer bench. So I don't know if that's all there or not. Maybe, kind of, sort of. It's got a little lock there on it, it looks like. I don't know how this would ring anything, but that might be worth grabbing. So I'm just being careful not to move much because there are some like hornets buzzing around here, and I don't want some sort of like scene out of My Girl going on today. I'm not allergic to them, but they hurt and I wouldn't want multiple stings. Now here we've got a lot of multi-pane windows here. Now these ones are probably the cleanest ones I've seen, the nicest ones I've seen. So this is something I won't be able to grab today, but if I can sell most of what I put in my trailer at the flea market, I may come back for most, if not all of these, and then blow them out really cheap. Pay a couple dollars, sell them for maybe $10, $15 each. There are a lot of them with like broken and missing panes on them. And again, if I don't grab them, they're going to get junked. And we've got these beautiful old cast iron and porcelain stoves here. You know, if I could find a use for them or someone take them, I would. But I've seen people try and give these away for free in much better condition, and they can't. And now, if there's some cool badges on them or anything I can salvage, I will grab them. But otherwise, he's just going to have to scrap those. And right in front of us, our lobster trap. This one looks pretty good as well. So that'll come with me. So that's it for this back room and the antique store area. But we do still have the adjacent building next to it here, which I'm most excited about. Okay, we're starting to build a pretty big pile now, and I haven't been stung by any hornets yet. Okay, now we're gonna head into the last building here. This one here, we had to pry the door right open. Let me get inside here. Barely get in. This section here was actually completely shut up, and even the sun hadn't been in here in 30 years. Now, I don't know if anybody else was able to get in here. There is an opening down at the front, but it's really blocked. So the animals got in, but I don't know if anybody else did or not. So let's get to work on this room right here. Okay, so I immediately put some gloves on just because this place is full of animal feces everywhere. And I want to do a little bit of deep digging into some boxes and hard to reach areas here, because if there's going to be any pleasant surprises, it could definitely be in this area right here. And, oh, here's some clawfoot feet from an old clawfoot pub. These ones actually have claws shaped on them on the bottom. There's 3 there. Okay, just a frame. Oh, and a whole pile of clawfoot tub feet here. So these are kind of nice. People will use these for upcycling projects. They use them for legs on custom tables and cabinets. There's a handful here, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, plus the 3 in the crate. I'm going to grab all of these. You know, I'm not going to pay much for them, but I'm going to price them out. I think these could go at the flea market at $5 each. They should all go if I put them at that price. I've sold them for twice that or more per leg in my store. I'm not going to put my hands in any of that crap. Underneath here, though, that's something worth investigating. So the golf clubs here, I've looked at these last time. I mean, I'm only looking for a wooden shaft, and there's none of those in here. Oh, jeez. Okay. That's what I thought that was. This is quite heavy too, especially for one hand. So you can see it's a big old cast iron bell here. It's missing the clapper inside, but I got a smaller one from here last time. I sold for 40 pretty quickly. This could be blasted and painted. You can add your own clapper for it, but that's kind of a cool piece. So I'll make sure that comes with me. There's another kind of generic gas can. Oh, it's got fluid in it. I don't care what it is. I'm just going to leave that one behind. There's a little pail. Another galvanized one. This could be for sap or something. That's a little bit different though. I'll put that aside. Okay, right in front of us here, we got some big wagon wheels. These are going to be 4.5, 5 feet. What do we got? 1, 2, 3. And this is just the outside of one. There. No, they're going to be a little bit heavy. The only thing is that door over there. You can see it from here. I've only got about 18 inches to squeeze out of there, unless I move a whole bunch of stuff in front of it out of the way, which looks like I'm gonna have to do just to get anything out of here. This section here, like this door here, is kind of boarded up and shut, I think. If I can get that to slide open, that'd be great. Okay, I gotta start moving some stuff out of the way here so we can get into this corner here. Here's a sled. This one's not super old, but old enough to still be collectible anyway. So people will start thinking about Christmas decorating before long, and a lot of people will decorate with these on the front porch of their house or something. So this one looks pretty good though, just a little dirty, so I think that's worth grabbing. Again, another one of the copper boiling pots here. Again, no handles, no dice. Okay, so I think I know what this is. This is it's a mounted wall. This is like you'd feed paper through this, I think, and tear it off, kind of like a butcher. I'll put that aside. So, there's a really old crock pot. Not much going on in there. Box full of poo. Not really gonna dig in there. Just check the surface. Oh, it's one of those old moo cow creamers. They're funny, nostalgic. My grandmother had one of these in her place when we were little kids. Try not to disturb all the poo in the box. Yeah, it's not looking like there's a whole lot in there at this point. Oh, what's that though? Okay, so maybe this is worth digging through poo. We'll see in a second here. What's this? Okay. That's kind of different there. It's like a ceramic, just a little bear head. Kind of odd. It's not like a lid for anything, I don't think. Different though. I'll put that aside. I want to see what's standing up there, but I'm stepping on all this. Okay. I really wish I could just be firing stuff out the door right now as I go through. We got this crazy old organ here. Alright. So what does this say? Something for rent. Cabin for rent. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's not that old, but that's a great piece for somebody's garage up by the lake here. I mean, it's just plywood, you know, it probably is only 30, 40 years old, but Again, I can get a few dollars out of it. And that's about it there. I mean, underneath all this, there's a kind of nice 50s enamel table. I mean, the base is pretty rusted and stuff, but I mean, I don't bother with those unless they're in really good shape. Okay, so see, this is something here I walked right past last time. This is a giant copper kettle here. That looks even bigger than the one in the other room I saw. I see. I missed this last time. See, that's not gonna be easy to get out. I gotta see if I can maybe get this door open enough to. It looks like it. Yeah, it slides. Yeah, that's gonna be my goal, to get it to be able to open up and slide. But I have to be able to close it again. I can't leave it wide open, or someone will walk right in here, and I'll be in big trouble. So definitely want this. I know it may not be the easiest sell because of its size. I'll take a better look at it once I can pull some stuff away. Well, we've got just some rope and some leather horse tack. The crate's got nothing on it. Can't go much further without moving a bunch of stuff here. Yeah, we got this big press here. So it's a big ringer. Maybe like a commercial one or something. Ring at each end. Ring at each end of rollers. But really well decorated piece there. I mean, it's gonna weigh a ton, that's the issue. I mean, I'd love to pull it out of here, but this is all cast iron. I really hope we can find somebody that will pull that out of here. So I'm gonna have to walk around the other side to check out the rest of it here. But I think first I'm gonna see if I can get this door open. I don't know if it's nailed shut or anything. Okay, so I managed to get it open enough. This is where I'm gonna be hauling this stuff out. This is much easier. I've got flat grass behind me here, so I can pull up my trailer right here. Okay, well, on the back here now, it's kind of dark back here, so I had to turn the flashlight on. It's really tight quarters over here. I'm gonna take a closer look. There's gonna be something pretty cool in here for me to move all this stuff out of the way. There's another ironing board that's chewed up. See, a couple more nice old wood stoves back here. Again, I can't use those. Yeah, some small ladder or something kind of similar in the corner, and just some like random boards and wood, headboards. We got a trunk here that's empty, and I see about 20 pounds of raccoon poo on the stove. Poo, 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 poo. This place is full of poo. I can't wait to get out of here. Hopefully I find enough stuff to make it worth my while. Yeah, there's not much back here. That might be a military box there, but it's dented up. We've got this big cutter sleigh. I really hope he can find somebody at least to take that off his hands for him. And a couple long ladders that, again, I'm not going to bother with. I don't really have the space for those right now, and especially if they don't sell for a whole lot. So you can basically see what's back here, and it's not a lot. So this is a piece here that I'm actually coming back for. I've already agreed to this the first time I was here. $20, he said I could have it. They use this for putting their mushrooms and stuff in. He said it was working the last time they had it plugged in about 30 years ago, so it might still work. It's going to weigh a ton, and we're not getting out of here until he gets all this stuff out of the way and we can get it out together. But for 20 bucks, I can't say no. Okay, so down here is pretty gross. There's poo. There's a necklace mixed in with it all. What's this here? Okay. Some old fishing stuff. Now it's got to be decent for me to think about grabbing. That's broken. Alright, this is looking more like parts and pieces here. Yeah. There's a small crock. That's worth putting aside. Somewhere. Just common kind of cream bottles here. Common soda bottles. Okay. So there's a couple more sewing machines here too. There's one right there in front of us. So this is where his cash register was here. This was his counter. And sometimes this is where you'd put some of the best stuff for stuff you're, researching. I know around my desk area, I've got some of my better pieces, so no one puts their hands on them. I'm just seeing a few simple tools though. Oh, there's a little plate from a moped from Florida there. I'll grab that. Some kind of regular bottles. Yeah, just more of the same in there. Oh, you see the spider? You see his shadow? That's kind of funny. Yeah, like here's his actual little cash box. I don't know if he's using the adding machine or not, but how funny it would be if there's like full of like bills still. Let's get that open. Sounds empty. Oh, maybe some change in there. I mean, you think the family would have been all over this right away. Or somebody. I could pry that open easy enough. I just need something flat. And I'm gonna find something to pry that open with. Okay, I had to fight with it, but I got it open. So there's a little bed for mice in there. Some pennies, some nickels. And that's about it. So I wasn't expecting much in there anyway, but I mean, you have to open it if it's right there in front of you. Oh, and now it's not gonna ever close again. So I think that's it from around here. I don't see much else. Yeah, I think we're done in here. So now the task is to get all this stuff out of this room here, out this door, and I've got to collect everything out of the other side, which is equally as tricky. That's over there, that direction. And then all the stuff from the barn as well, I've got to drag all that out. And it's getting late, it's already almost dinner time, and a little tired. So I'm going to drag all this stuff out and we'll see what we ended up with. Okay, so here's all the stuff out of the main two buildings here at the front. A lot of oversized stuff, as you can tell, and just basically salvage. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna pay him for this stuff right here, but I've got to go collect the stuff out of the barn next, and there might be some rain on the way. It's not looking promising, so I'm gonna move pretty quickly here. Okay, so trailer's loaded. That was a lot of work for one person. I'm gonna have a quick shower and then we're gonna talk about what I paid for all this stuff today. So that was one long, exhausting day, but my trailer's almost full and hopefully it's gonna be worth it. So like I mentioned before, the owner's out of town. He said, just send me pictures of your piles, give me a price and leave me a check. He came back at $1,500, which is more than I wanted to pay, especially considering how much is being scrapped or burned. He wanted $600 for the pair of copper kettles, $75 each for the cast iron kettles, and $100 for the big blacksmith bellows. So after some back and forth, we settled on $1,300 for everything. Now that was still a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but at that point it was 8 o'clock at night and I was completely wiped and I was not about to put that stuff back in the barn. Okay guys, now it's time to tell me what you think. Did I overpay for everything I picked up today, or was the price just about right? Leave that in the comments section down below. And while you're down there, give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay in the loop when I post new content. If you want to see my first visit to this property, check out this video right here. Thanks again for tagging along and I'll see you real soon.